I know. Good afternoon, friends. And I can see a fairly good gathering, maybe because it's the concluding day. But right at the outset, I'd just like to first thank the organizers for providing India also a podium, an opportunity to stand on this podium, albeit in the penultimate session of the concluding day. And I think all of you are aware of the size of India and the magnitude of the challenges which face us. We have a total population of 1.22 billion. And the largest state in India is Uttar Pradesh, which itself has a population of 199 million. And number of births you can expect, the magnitude, we have around 31 million pregnancies and 24 million births. And I'm sure, many of the small countries could easily fit into one the size of India. And, taking a cue from the title of the, presentation made, the first plenary on the 4th of May, Improving Maternal Health, the changing situation in Asia. If any significant change has to be made in this situation, I think India has to contribute a large chunk of these changes. Otherwise, we would not be able to make a significant dent in our mortality indicators. The flagship program of the Government of India is the National Rural Health Mission. And it is within the framework and umbrella of this program that our reproductive and child health program, which is really the program which will bring down these indicators, that is being implemented. And NRHM was launched in 2005. At the same time as the phase 2 of the reproductive and child health program was launched. And slowly, RCH of course was partly funded by the development partners. But the National Rural Health Mission is a domestically funded program, and slowly the RCH strategies would be subsumed within this program, and we expect that the program would be totally funded through domestic funding. NRHM as such, it really provides us the framework, the physical framework to be able to implement our technical strategies. And if it has really, brought out a massive change in the way our rural health infrastructure looks like. And it aims to, it aimed to bring in a sharper focus on the neglected rural areas. And there were a number, during phase 1 of RCH, there were a number of vertical strategies. And NRHM is a sector-wide approach which aims to bring in integrate all these strategies under one umbrella. If you look at our MDG goals, like I was looking at the MDG goal of Nepal 143, because the baseline that was taken at that time, they had an MMR of more than 500. And the baseline which was taken for India was from one of the National Family Health Surveys. And at that time, to really have accurate estimates of maternal mortality ratio through such surveys, one can't really say whether those were good estimates or not, but those are the only estimates we had. So at that time, we looked at a baseline of 424, and that got us to an MDG goal of around 106, and which is in line with our NRHM goal of 100. So we do have a long way to go. We've reached a MMR of 212, and the IMR has also declined, but we really need to, put our act together. Looking at NRHM as a sector-wide approach, we have various mechanisms in place to strengthen the hands of the service providers and the facilities in implementing all our strategies. So we have flexible financing mechanisms, we have contractual human resources, and we have now, this is, I suppose, it's all repetition because the other countries are also doing it, but it's just that the mechanisms may be slightly different. So we have a community level functionaries, which we call the accredited social health activists, or the ASHAs. And RCH, we are all aware of the strategies. And the main approach under NRHM was to, to try to do away with the bureaucratic way of working in the vertical programs. And I would say that it has succeeded to a large extent, though the challenges are many. And the main, our main strategies were through the communitization, through the strengthening of the management systems at district level, then the untied grants and the hospital management committee funds, etc., which we were giving to the facilities. And of course, in the process, we developed our standards. Some of them are high, and we've got somewhat intermediate standards also. And but the weak area is the monitoring and supervision mechanism, which we really need to work on. And now we do have a number of partnerships with technical agencies, with NGOs. So at the end of 2015, we may not reach a goal of 100, but I think we will. So this I've already, and one very important thing, a strategy is to, look at, because India has so many, such wide regional differences, intra-state differences, that we needed to focus on those states which are actually contributing to the major chunk of maternal and infant mortality and TFR. And these are our 18 high-focus states. And because what we find is that the southern, say for example, the southern states of Tamil Nadu and Kerala, anyway, they are going ahead. And for some, historical reasons, the political commitment is also higher there. So we are not really focusing on those. And we have also identified 264 high-focus districts, and with prioritized resource allocation to these districts. And now, earlier it used to be, we used to be dispensing funds, but the monitoring on outcomes and performance wasn't there. But now the release of funds is being linked to performance by individual states. If you look at the allocations and expenditure under NRHM, as you can see, that there have been massive increases. Up till now, about $15 billion had been allocated, and in the current year also there's an allocation of $4 billion, and which is likely to increase in the next 5-year plan. Then states have a lot of freedom, to bring about innovations and build in financial incentives into their plans, which of course we appraise at the center, but we still give a lot of flexibility. We have given flexibility in performance-based and incentives and difficult area allowances. Then we have given states the freedom to bring in regulations. Then states have the different ways of cadre, human resource management, cadre reviews, and then to bring in some, educational courses like somewhat like the Barefoot Doctors of China. So, bring in a different category of resources. And as far as strengthening of health facilities goes, this has really been massive in the last, since the year 2005, and the numbers here indicate that we have set up a lot of physical facilities, but the challenge remains is the human resource. This is just to give you an idea of some of our systems, where the emergency and referral transport system like the MRI 108 is a very successful model, particularly in the hilly states. Then Asha, of course, I already talked about her. She is the visible face of NRHM, and we have been very successful in training her in all the modules, which cover most of the aspects of RCH. But like some of the other states, we are still not, allowing her to give misoprostol at the community. That is an issue which I think we need to take up. These are just the trends in some of the RCH indicators, and this you've been seeing it over the last 3 days. It follows a similar pattern, except that the neonatal mortality rate is showing a plateau, and we are now focusing on our neonatal care and setting up the neonatal care at facilities, and also on the home-based newborn care model, which WHO has also recommended. And this is the pattern of our neonatal mortality, infant mortality, and we do need to really focus particularly on the early neonatal mortality. TFR is a slow and steady decline, and it's some of the states which contribute more to it, because many of the southern states have already achieved replacement level fertilities. These are some of the key thrust areas under the Reproductive and Child Health Program. I'm not talking about the usual evidence-based strategies. We put in some new initiatives, and some of these, we are giving some service guarantees in the public health facilities. My colleague here just talked about the cash benefit schemes. So one of our flagship schemes is the Janani Suraksha Yojana, which has seen a massive uptake in all the states. But like we said, it's bringing in a lot of women into the institutions. But whether we are able to address the supply side, that's a huge challenge. Then a new scheme which we launched last year is the Janani Shishu Suraksha Karikram, because studies had revealed that women were undergoing a lot of out-of-pocket expenses. So the states now we are giving them the money, and the guarantees are there, where all the woman is going to be given a free and cashless delivery, including a drop back home by some ambulance, whatever kind of a vehicle, that states have been can work out different models for that. And this, I've already said how how the GSY expenditure has from less than 1 million, it has gone up to more than 600 million US dollars. These are some of our new strategic initiatives. That we've identified certain high caseload facilities, which we call delivery points, and our attempt is not to spread our resources thin, but to provide comprehensive services at these delivery points. Then some initiatives on adolescent health, for instance, the menstrual hygiene program, the weekly iron and folic acid supplementation to adolescent girls in and out of school, and to adolescent boys in school. And I already mentioned the home-based newborn care, which has been launched. And another initiative, which, the Maternal Health Division, in collaboration with agencies like JAPIGO, and we have our Indian Nursing Council and SOMI, etc., we are trying to strengthen the nursing and midwifery cadres. And then, as we said, India is a country where the limiting methods of sterilization were predominant. Now the focus is on the spacing methods, and we are now distributing condoms and other methods through our community health volunteers. And of course, the focus on postpartum family planning services had been lost over the years. That has been renewed now. And then severe anemia, the states have been given certain tools to track the severely anemic women and address the therapeutic, administering the therapeutic regime to these. Then another very good initiative is the web-enabled mother and child tracking system, which generates a work plan for each A&M, and the entries as far as the number of mothers and children who have on which information has been fed is showing very encouraging results. Thank you.